Welcome to Muxia in Galicia, Spain. Muxia is the end of the Camino de Santiago. It is the end point of the pilgrimage of the great saint of Spain. A beautiful crucero meets you at the beginning of the old road of Muxia. You see, Muxia is one of the youngest towns in Spain, but one of the oldest and most sacred locations. Muxia was established in 1345. This peninsula had been uninhabited for millennia because it was considered to be sacred and holy ground. It was so sacred and so important that the Romans built this very strong and fortified building to be a bank for this import and export port here in Galicia, Spain. But before that, this had been an ancient site of pilgrimage of the pagan people, the Celtic people that inhabited this part of Spain before the Christianization of this area. For this area was one of the last areas to be Christianized because of the very strong Celtic and what we consider now to be pagan worship. There was not a strong takeover of this region by the Christians. Rather, they slowly introduced their beliefs and their view of God and the loving ways of Christians. It became very attractive to all of the people who heard it, and that is how Christianity slowly converted pagan areas into Christian belief. Muxia blends a lot of its ancient Celtic, Roman, Gaelic, and pagan beliefs into many of its Christian buildings, because many of the Christian buildings were actually Roman buildings, like this one that is the Church of Santa Maria here in Muxia. As I said earlier, it is an ancient Roman stronghold, basically a bank and a way to hold money and guard sacred relics of worship for the Roman legion that maintained this outpost. Then it transitioned into a Roman temple with a worship area, then a Gothic church, and then finally a Roman Catholic church. And it has enjoyed that for the last 900 years since consecration. As we head down the peninsula, we can overlook the beautiful bay that is here in the Galician region. The waters are treacherous and choppy, and that's why it is called La Costa del Morte, the coast of death, because there are countless shipwrecks in these waters. The road that we are walking on right now is a very, very ancient path that has been kept up and maintained over the millennia. But this is the same path that worshipers and pilgrims walked thousands of years ago, before Christianity and before Judaism. Because Celtic peoples and the peoples of Europe, of old Europe, would walk here to this very sacred mountain, this granite outpost, this granite peninsula, and petition the gods with their problems and the pestilences that would plague their communities. They would come here, give sacrifice, and then head back to their communities to let them know the gods are going to help. One of the very, very ancient and interesting features of the mountain here in Muxia and the peninsula is this holy and ancient natural spring. It is called La Fonte de Piel, the spring of skin. And what you would do in ancient times is come to this spring and cleanse yourself. You would make yourself pure by washing your feet and your body and consecrate yourself in preparation for the journey to the top of the mountain there. So once you became pure and once you became clean and holy, you could continue your journey up to the mountain. And as you leave the insane area of life that was the pagan Spain, you would walk on this path, this very sacred, holy, and ancient path, to give your sacrifice to the gods and hope that they would hear your petition. And as we look at this rock work, we can see that this is medieval rock. But then we look on the other side, we look at this stonework, we can see it's Neolithic, it's pre-medieval, it's pre-Christian, it's even pre-Jewish. This stonework is 5,000 to 8,000 years old, if not older. And that is something that you see here in Muxia. Neolithic and Mesolithic stonework alongside medieval stonework. As we continue down the path, we come upon one of the most unusual features here in Muxia, and one that few people know about, and that is the balanced rock. This ancient Neolithic balanced rock is a very unique feature. This rock is balanced on its center point, and the tip of its point on the right-hand side points directly north. There is not much of an explanation for this rock. People came here for thousands upon thousands of years to plead with the gods, to give sacrifice, and to become one and commune with the holy spirits of the time. This place was so important that this is where the Virgin Mary came to meet with St. James and give him courage in the battles ahead to expel the Moors from Spain. And that is how St. James received his Spanish name, Matamoros, the slayer of the Moors, and the person that cleansed Spain from the Moorish people that had invaded and had subjugated the Iberian Peninsula for so long. Here we come on the final crucero for the pilgrims along the Camino de Santiago. Cruceros are always at a point of crossroads. Many pilgrims come here and fail to notice the unique fluting on the column of the crucero here at the point of Muxia. I have not seen a column like this in anywhere in the region. It is extremely special, and it is very, very old. It is a weathered cross. It's lost its top, but still maintains vigil with its beautiful fluted column. And look at the coast and look at the base, and you can see the long story that takes place here on the tip of the peninsula of Muxia. And there at the top is the balanced rock and the path up to the holy mountain in the holy and most sacred areas of Muxia, Spain, the sanctuary of the Virgin of La Barca. For this is where the miracle of St. James and the Virgin Mary happened. Muxia has an ancient story and is a very, very ancient place, even though it is such a young town. Please come visit us so we can tell you more about the story of Muxia.